Howdy, I am Northern Dice, and we are finally going to be doing a playthrough of Cthulhu Death May Die before I crack into Season 2. I do want to go through all the episodes for Season 1 first, but I can't help myself and do feel like at some point there may be an interim episode where I just break into Season 2 and do Episode 1. Because I've cracked it open, had a look at the components, and now the excitement is getting too much for me. As you can see, or you may recognise, this is the setup for Season 1, Episode 1. As forewarning, this is going to contain spoilers for Season 1, Episode 1, as you may guess. If you don't want to find out what happens, this is probably the wrong video for you, and as usual with this playthrough, it is not a how to play. There is a good chance I will make one or two mistakes, because not only am I only human, I'm a bit daft sometimes, but that's part and parcel of being who I am, and I don't mind that. So, we have got it set up for a solo run with two characters. And our two characters for this episode are the kid, who is suffering from masochism, and Sister Beth, who is suffering from psychotic outbreaks. Each character in Cthulhu Death May Die is unique in terms of one of their abilities. The other two come from a pool, but these two are quite unique in their abilities against each other. With that, we are taking on episode 1 with Cthulhu as our Elder One. I will dip into the Kickstarter exclusive stuff as time goes on, but for the time being, this episode will be Cthulhu. The next episode will probably be Hester. So, to kick off, let's have a good read of the episode and see what it is that the cultists are up to. So, what's worse than cultists? Cultists who've set the place on fire. Another night, and another damn ritual to summon an elder god. If we blow up their labs, we can cause a lot of trouble for whatever it is they are summoning. So we need to disrupt the ritual by destroying 4 of the 5 labs, by dealing 4 or more total wounds to them with the destroy equipment action, which is down here. And when the Elder One advances across the Elder One's track, we need to place 1 fire token in every space that has a cultist and no fire. So our bonus actions that we can take as part of this episode are to extinguish a fire, make a roll, remove 1 fire token in your space for each success, and destroy equipment. Make a roll against lab equipment in your space. It doesn't counter-attack. Each success deals 1 wound to a lab. When a lab has 4 more, destroy it and turn it over and reveal its effect. If you're not sure on how Cthulhu Death May Die runs, it is a case of the investigation is done, all of the nitty-gritty snooping is finished, you now know where the cultists are, so you are breaking in, guns blazing, and you are going to try and stop them from getting that big bad boy out. Inevitably, they are going to get him out, and when he gets into this zone, he will appear on the board. If by that point we haven't disrupted the ritual, he will be impervious to attack. If we have managed to disrupt the ritual, we'll be able to do damage to him, and we will need to go through 4 different phases. This is not an easy game, but it is a very fun one nonetheless. As much as this is not an explanation, I will run through a turn sequence, not only to remind myself, but to give you an idea of what will be happening. So you can take a turn with 3 actions. You can run, attack, rest, which is if you're not surrounded by enemies in a space. You can trade, or you can use episode actions, which of course are listed there. After that, you draw one of these Mythos cards. If it has that symbol on it, we reveal it and leave it out. We resolve it no matter what, but as soon as we have 3 out, Cthulhu will move along the track. After that, we can investigate or fight. If it's safe, we don't really have to worry, and we can draw one of these cards. If it's not safe, which means we're in a space with an enemy, we have to fight. And then we have to resolve the end of turn, which I don't believe there are any end of turn effects as it stands yet. Cthulhu advances, gives us effects, and I think when Cthulhu goes into further stages, there'll be more effects for the end of turn. These little quirks, these insanities, will trigger anytime we hit one of these spaces, and this is our insanity track. As it goes along, we'll get stronger and get better abilities, but we're also closer to the inevitable death. We also die if we run out of health, and we can use stress to reroll, but we can also have stress be damaged to us as well. In rest, we can heal either of those. There's a lot to it, but it's actually one of the simpler of CMON's games in my opinion, so I'd like to get stuck into this, and I'm going to kick off by using Sister Beth. So Sister Beth I am going to start with, and we are going to start off by running one space, and we will stop there. Both these cultists are in our space, so we can attack both of them. Now as it stands, we only use black die, but Sister Beth's brawling ability says gain a green die when attacking a target in your space, which is fantastic. So we'll be able to use that as well. Now these cultists for Cthulhu only have 2 health each, so we are going to attack one of them. And we have managed one success and a terror, another success and an elder sign and a blank. Now her other abilities allow us to use these terrors as successes, and we also get 1 free reroll when attacked or rolling for fire. Well, neither of those are going to help us, but it does mean that we will advance on that track once for that, but we also get to kill one of these, and he is taken out. So that's 2 actions done. We will then do the same again and attack another cultist. And we get a success and a terror, a blank, and a success. So again, kill the cultist, beaten to death with our none, and we advance on that track there. That's our 3 actions taken. We now draw a Mythos card, and our Mythos card says, Lab accident. Each figure in a space with an undestroyed lab takes 1 wound. Also, each investigator with guilty conscience takes 2 stress. For each stress they cannot take, they take a wound instead. Luckily for us, we are not with any lab equipment, but each figure, which means everybody. So we'll put that here, because it has got one of those symbols. But then we give 1 wound to everybody, literally everyone, who is with lab equipment. So he suffers a wound. He suffers a wound, because that counts as 1 space. He suffers a wound as well. The Byakhee is in a separate space because there is a wall in between them. But other than that, that is good for us because it means that we are now in a position where they have been hurt and we've done very little. And we can now investigate. We make a discovery. And it says, the desk. Shoved against the wall, what's in this drawer? You may claim the whiskey bowl. Discard this card to heal all your stress and discard your guilty conscience cards. Not bad. These cards get tucked just in here. And that is something that Sister Beth now has. Sister Beth has turned to the bottle. Takes a lot. It's now the kid's turn. And the kid's ability is gate manipulation. If you're in the same space as a gate, which come in blue, yellow and red flavours. If you are in the same space as a gate, then monsters and cultists summoned there take wounds equal to half their health rounded up. So she actually hurts the monsters as they come out. As this progresses, gets better. If you're in the space within the space of a gate, you get a free rest and an extra green die. She also has marksman, which means that she can target enemies up to 1 space away. And she also, when making any roll, you can count an elder sign as success. So for the kid, we are going to move 1 as part of a run. We'll then stop there and we will attack this enemy who is 1 space away from us. And we will roll 3 black die. We don't get any bonuses other than that. But we get the successes we need. Ooh, but we also get a terror. So her insanity goes up. And then we kill him with our 2 successes. So these cultists are dropping like flies, which is very handy for us. And then I think she will also continue her movement and go 1, 2. Now, unfortunately for us, we have just ran through fire, which means that our character is now on fire. And we'll have to resolve that at the end, which is resolve end of turn. Not great, but at the same time we might get away with it. So next we draw a Mythos card. And each Byakhee moves directly into your space. Oh my goodness. So this Byakhee will just move straight into here and take on this small child. And then we summon a Byakhee to the red. That is not good at all. The camera's right in the way of this game. It's much bigger than when I play Bloodborne. Bloodborne I can set up and play like nobody's business. This, I feel like it's taken up nearly all my table and I still can't get it all on camera. Anyway, so now we investigate or fight. If we're safe, we look at a discovery card. We're not safe. There's a Bjarki there. So we now need to fight. So for us, the Bjarki would use 1 black and 2 green die to attack us. And when it attacks, each elder sign also counts as a success. So anything that appears on these die are going to do damage to us. Oh, that's really not good. So we'd take 2 wounds and 1 insanity. Oh, is there anything we can really do? Not really. So we're sort of stuck. But we can spend stress, which I'm going to do, to re-roll. Because I think I'd rather... Oh, it's just a straight success. So we've spent the stress, which means that reroll was pointless, but we take 2 wounds for the 2 successes, and we take an insanity. And then we resolve end of turn effect, which is going to be, unfortunately for us, fire. Now we need to roll for that fire. And it's insanity. So we take the insanity, but the fire is off of us. If, unfortunately for us, we had lots of fire, because we travel through lots of rooms, we'd have to take all of them all at once. We'd roll for each one individually, but it depends how intense the fire is. Having a look at this. If there are tokens... Oh, each time you take wounds, put the number of wounds tokens on this card. So we've taken 2 wounds. A masochism. If there are no tokens on this card, take a wound. Otherwise, remove all tokens from this card and heal 1 stress for every wound removed. So we do need those wounds. So we actually sorted ourselves out a little bit there. Not sure. Right, we now need to get moving. So with Sister Beth, she is going to move 1, 2. That's her run action. She is now on fire because she's ran through fire. And then she is going to start off by attacking that cultist. She's in close proximity, so she gets to roll that. So she's got 2 successes, 2 elder signs. The elder signs I don't think count for anything for Sister Beth. They don't, but at the plus side we don't take any insanity and we just kill this cultist. And then we can attack that lab equipment. So she does 4 again. Oh, we get 3 successes. I am very tempted to roll again. So if we spend a stress, we can re-roll this one. Another success. So that lab equipment is now destroyed. Now, according to the destroyed lab equipment, we need to now flip it and resolve its effect. And it says, Inferno, place a fire token in this space and in each adjacent space. That's really, really... Of course, it's not going to focus. There we go. Inferno. That's really not good. So the fire that is spreading through this lab is going to spread a little bit further adjacent space. So now we've got fire here and fire here. Now we haven't left that space, so we wouldn't need to take the fire damage. But at the same time, we are in a bit of a pickle because we're on fire. So we draw a Mythos card. And it says, monsters in the lab. Each fire vampire and Bjarki move 1 space towards you, which does help the kid. So we summon a vampire and we summon a Bjarki. But those can go there because those aren't counted towards that pile. So Bjarki will move here. The fire vampire will move here. And then we will summon a fire vampire to yellow. We'll summon the other Bjarki. We can't summon the other Bjarki, but he would also move 1 space towards to be there. Not looking good. We've got monsters literally everywhere. Oh well. So now we can use a discovery and we find... Oh, it's a companion. And it says, have you seen my students? They've escaped. I mean, walked out during an experiment. If any investigator has the spirit of Nungahol, the professor bursts into flames. Discard this and lose 1 sanity. Otherwise, you may claim 2 stress. You may take 2 stress to claim the professor. While you have him, gain 1 in Arcane Mastery. Quite handy. So can I slide that in there easily? I most certainly can. So we'll take the 2 stress. and we gain 1 level in Arcane Mastery, which is another skill that we've now got. It says, when making any roll, we get we may count 1 Elder Sign as a success. So you can gain basic level in other abilities based on your companions. We could also use him as a meat shield because he has 1 health. So if we start getting hurt, we could throw him in the line of fire. Desperate times, I guess. And now we've got to take the roll for the fire. And it's a success, which means that we take a wound. Now it's the kids' turn. I think to start off with, we're going to rest, which means that we get to heal 1, 2, 3. We are then going to move into here, which means that we're not on fire because we haven't left a room with fire. We're now going to attack. Let's attack the lab. Oh no, I shouldn't. I should have attacked the cultist at a distance. Ah, well. Let's attack the cultist then instead. There we go. 2 successes and a blank, which means that we don't really have any detrimental effects to killing him, which is not too bad. So we now need to draw a Mythos card. Add 1 fire to the space and to each adjacent space. Conflagration. Just going to check something. Okay, I made a mistake earlier. I can have more than 1 fire in 1 space. So when that blew up, that should have gained another fire. As should that. And now, that's more on fire. That's on fire. And that's on fire because of the conflagration. That sucks. And on top of that, I know that fire vampires really like fire. When it attacks, first place a fire token in its space. Yeah, it's going to be adding lots of fire. We have got this, which means that we will, at the end, be moving Cthulhu along the track, which we don't want. But we can still draw a Mythos card. It says, Locked Cabinet. Can probably fry this open. You may take 3 wounds to claim the Amulet of Ngahul. If you do not, claim the spirit. This companion cannot be traded and cannot be given wounds. If you would take wounds from fire, you may instead deal that many wounds to 1 enemy in space. We're taking that. 3 wounds, yep. That's a no-brainer for me. The amount of fire we've got out here. 3 wounds. 1, 2, 3. And it says, if you would take wounds from fire, you may instead deal that many wounds to 1 enemy in your space. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That's what I want more than anything. Because we are going to go run around, get as much fire on us as possible, stand next to someone and just blast them. Absolutely blast them with fire. Oh, I remember that card from last time I played. And I think also I had the kid as a pyromaniac, so that it just went absolutely mad with fire. There were so many fire tokens. Right, and now we need to resolve the end of turn effects, which include moving Cthulhu 1 space this way because of these 3. So these now all get shuffled back into here. And on top of that, we need to follow Cthulhu's effects, which says, oh, goodness me. When Cthulhu advances, place 1 Riley token, if there's not already 1 in your space. Summon a cultist on each Riley space. Move the star spawn 1 space towards you. If it is not on the board, summon it on the blue gate. And just like that, Cthulhu just being there has made everything a million times harder. That's a single movement as well on phase 1. Phase 4, I think he hits like a bus. Anyway, we're now back to Sister Beth, and Sister Beth is probably going to want to, well, she could try and make her way down to the other lab over there. We're going to have to do something. The more insane she gets, the better she's going to be. And I think it's wise for us to try and make her more insane. So let's move 1. So we've left that space, so we'll get a fire token. Oh, that's on Sister Beth, apologies. We'll fight the Bjarki, which means that we will roll the 4 die that we like. He only has 3 health, so it shouldn't be too bad to kill. I'm going to put that token there. Okay, so we got 2 successes and 2 insanities, which would make us go insane. Move to the nearest figure with at least 1 figure, then deal 2 wounds to all of the figures in your space. I think that's fantastic. So we'll deal the 2 health, 2 damage to him. We'll go a little bit more insane. We activate this, which says that we deal 2 wounds to him, which would be 4, so that he is dead. And because we've done that, we now level up in one of these. Let's take the highly strung. Actually I like brawling, but we've not got many enemies altogether. We'll take highly strung. So we've increased that, so now we don't just count 1 insanity, 1 squid result, 1 terror result as a success. We can now count as many as we want, but they still count as those as well. So that's 1, that's 2. We could now try and move a little bit further. It's times like this where I wish I had either Swift or the secret sneaky one where they can sneak through. You get 1 free reroll when attacked or rolling for fire, so that could help, I guess, but no matter where we go, we're going to get hurt. We can try and put the fire out, make a roll, remove 1 fire for each success. Let's do that. No success. And I don't want to really take any more stress, so we will reveal the Mythos card. And we get each figure in the space with a lab. With an undestroyed lab takes 1 wound. Each investigator with a guilty conscience takes 2 stress. Nobody has a guilty conscience. For each stress they cannot take, they take a wound instead. Just had that, I'm sure. So that means that this cultist is now dead because he was with the lab when it blew up. And what else are we looking? This fire vampire would also take a single wound. They have 4 health. They're the meteor of the lot. And these 2 over here would also take wounds. God, our the kid is really suffering. That's not good. And if either investigator dies before we get to phase 2 of Cthulhu, then it's game over straight away. Right. We then reveal a discovery card. We get fire equipment. Fire extinguisher, gain 2 when extinguished 5 fire axe. When attacking, gain that if you have the brawling skill. We're going to have to take that. I'm going to put that underneath. You can have multiples there. They do just stack. So now have a fire axe for our sister Beth, so we can get an extra green die, which is really cool. Then we have to roll for this. It's a success, so we take a damage. I can use that free reroll. It's a success and insanity, so that's got worse. That's not good. Oh well. And then we are on to the kid, who is really suffering. I think as a first thing, we just need to kill that cultist. So let's do that. That'd be 3 black. Oh yeah, that is super dead. We can use those as we need. Then if we spend a bit of time healing by resting, 1, 2, 3. And now let's try and destroy that lab equipment. So we'll make another roll against it. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to spend 2 stress to reroll these 2. That's better. So we've got 3 successes. So that's 3 damage to it, so I can put a 3 next to it. But we also go a bit more insane, which means that we activate our masochism, and because we have got 3 wounds on there, we can heal 3 stress. Really handy, and we can level up. And I think Marksman is the best one to go for, because we'll gain 2 green die when attacking a target not in our space, which is going to become very handy as necessary. Reveal a Mythos. Oh, Chaos in the Labs. Move the Elder One and each monster 1 space towards the undestroyed lab closest to them. each monster, so he's going to go in there, he's going to go here, he is going to go back in here. Summon a cultist in each damaged lab. Undestroyed, undamaged, each damaged. So now that's in there as well. Then remove 1 wound from each lab in a space with a cultist. So he's sort of stood there fixing it up. Not cool. And sadly for us, that now means that we are going to get attacked, and we get attacked in the order we choose, which is good, but we still get attacked, which is bad. And the cultist kicks off by hitting us in the face. For 2 successes, ooh, I think you'll find we'll be spending a little bit of stress to re-roll those. That's better. Nothing. And then the fire vampire attacks, and he attacks with 2 black and a green. So we only take a terror, but he also places a fire token in the place where he attacks. Now you'll notice the black and green die are different. So the green one is very much, you're not going to get any terror from it. It's either a success, an arcane, or a blank. The black ones are success, arcane, tentacle, or tentacle success, or blank. Generally speaking, human enemies, green, monstrous enemies, black, and that's because they're going to give you more terror. In the example of the Starspawn, who very, very much is going to give you 2 terror by default, because look at the guy. He's spooky, man. Now let's move on to Sister Beth. Oh, I feel like Cthulhu is going to get moving again, and Sister Beth is going to be chased by the Starspawn. Yeah, everybody follows you, and they follow you for as long as necessary, so that Starspawn is going to follow us a good long way. So Sister Beth will definitely be trying to beat the living tar out of that Starspawn. So she gets 3 black, and 2 green. 1 for a brawling ability, 1 for the fire axe. We're going to punch that Starspawn so hard. Oh, that's not good. That's 3 successes, but it's also 3 insanity. It could be 4-5 insanity. 4-5 damage as well, because that's 3 successes with insanity. And if we get the psychotic outbreak, yeah, let's do that. So we'll take that, give him 3, and we move to the closest, and that's him. And that's 5 against the Starspawn. I can put that there, because there's only 1 Starspawn. And now we're going to try and hit him again. Oh, sorry, we level up, which means that we'll get another green die. And we can also increase one of these. Heal 1 wound for each insanity count as a success. That might give us a bit more longevity. When you attack any number of times, depends how messy it's all going to get. Let's increase this to start off with, so we can now heal as we get more insane. Okay, yeah, he is well and truly caked in pain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's dead, so I can move him off the board. He will reappear. We've effectively just forced him back to whatever hole he crawled out of. So that's 2, and then we'll move 1, 2, 3. We pass through 3 fire, so Sister Beth is on fire 3 times. Not good. We didn't count any tentacles as successes, so we can't heal any either. Hopefully we don't get killed by this fire. Reveal a Mythos. Oh, good. Fire Vampire. The nearest Fire Vampire moves 2 spaces towards you and places 1 fire in its space. He's going to be very close to us. Then we summon a Vampire on blue. We don't need to, there's already 1 out. And then we will be summoning Cthulhu again, moving him forward. So he goes 1, 2. The other one doesn't move. We can no longer reveal a Mythos card. We now need to fight, so we're going to get attacked. Place a fire token in that space where he was. I'm going to have a fire token. Where he is, sorry. I'm not going to get attacked. I can do the Mythos, just realised, because that's 2 separate spaces. We get Furious Student. He can't hurt me anymore. You may take 1 wound to claim the Furious Student. You cannot have both Chester and the Professor as companions. Discard 1. I'm going to take... one... I'm not going to take Ava. You may. I don't have to, so I'm going to choose not to, so that can go to the bottom. Simply because I like my meat shield and I also don't want to lose another health. We're then going to roll 3 times for the different fires. 1. You can have 1 free reroll when attacked or rolling for fire. That'll do. Now I always get a bit confused as to whether it is for each fire or for fire generally, but I'm going to assume it's just for that 1 fire. So that's now a success and an insanity. And that's now the same. So they're both gone. I'd rather play it kosher as I can. And now Cthulhu moves forward 1. A Riley token appears in my space. We summon a cultist on each Riley space. And we summon a Star Spawn on the blue gate. So again, he's back. Cultist. Cultist. With the kid, we're going to run 1, 2. So we can now be covered in 4 fire. And our... If you would take wounds from fire, you may instead deal that many wounds to 1 enemy in your space. So we can now use all that to kill that lab. And now we can spend our time attacking those cultists. So the kid, unfortunately for us, only has black die because the marksman needs her to be spaces away. That is a bit of a fail in its entirety, so we'll use 2 stress to re-roll 2 of these. 1 success and 1 insanity. Insane. Success means pain for one of these fellas. And I'll attack the same one again. Oh yeah, he's dead. And that would be 2 insanity. We'd kill him off. But we've not taken any pain before we've gone insane, which means that we suffer 1 wound. We can increase our gate manipulation skill. So if we're within 1 space of a gate now, which we are. So if you are in the same space as a gate, monsters and cultists summon there, take wounds equal to half their health rounded up. Let's keep going then. So now we need to draw a Mythos card and we get Astral Promise. Move the nearest cultist to your space and choose 1. Add a Riley to your space or suffer 2 insanity, or lose 2 sanity. It's going to be 2 sanity. And that says move the nearest cultist. Well, I'd class him as the nearest, but yeah, he's the nearest. He's the nearest, so it means that it means Sister Beth is still in danger. We then have to fight. He's going to attack us for 2 green. And he misses any, that's a cock die, so I'll roll that again. He hits us, so that's 1 pain to us. And then we resolve the end of turn. We don't have any, but we are 4 on fire. I'm going to use all that suffer. If you would take any wounds from fire, let's roll from. So that would be 1 insanity. I'm going to count that as a success. That's 1. That'd be 1. And that's enough insanity. So we'd suffer 1 pain. So he would be hit with 1 damage. We suffered a pain, so we would have had that on. We'd have taken that off. And then when we went insane, we'd heal that much stress. And we can level up again. We're now more than halfway through our health and we have not done all of the objectives we need. Let's take that one because then we're always considered safe to rest. Now we need to go to Sister Beth. Sister Beth is in a bit of a pickle because she is with lab equipment and a Riley space and a cultist. Let's start with the cultist. So we get 1 die, 2 die, 3 die for the fire axe, and these. No, let's go for the lab equipment first. We did 1, 2, 2, 3. Let's spend. Oh, that's not that, is it? That was a blank. No, that was a success. That was a success. Sorry. Let's suffer a stress to re-roll this one. 3, 4. So that one is destroyed. And it says this, which made me a bit nervous at first. Come on, you can do it. I'll read it to you. It says, major explosion. Deal 2 wounds to all enemies in this space and adjacent spaces. Now, I got nervous because I thought it was 2 wounds to everybody. It's not, it's just enemies, so he is actually dead. The fire vampire is dead. No, it's not, it's got 2 wounds, but you know, it's a big thing. And we're now safe to rest, so we can now spend 1, 2, 3 on healies. And then we can either discard this whiskey bottle to heal all our stress. So we're now fresh, feeling very, very, very fresh. We could start heading downstairs. If we go 1... No, let's not. Let's stay still. Let's stay still and do nothing. We draw a Mythos card. It says, each investigator in a Riley space suffers 1 insanity, which is fine, I guess. It means that we're able to then investigate. Feral student. She only makes vague simian noises. You may take 2 stress to claim the feral student. You may claim the guilty conscience. While you have gained 1 level in brawling, you cannot have both Margaret and the professor's companions discard 1. While we've got, we'll gain a level in brawling, which I think is going to be much more handy than the old man. Although he does give us Arcane Mastery, I think I'm going to abandon the feral student. Oh, we've got to claim the guilty conscience if we do. No, we'll have to get rid of the professor. Sorry, Doc. In, oh, in there. It's 2 stress to do that. We gain a level in brawling. If we lose her, we lose that level. And I'm going to put the brawling token just above it to remind me that I have got it. So that's looking quite good. We've got no more Arcane Mastery, of course. We have got the brawling skill. There's no end of game, end of turn effects. So let us keep running. Right, back to the kid. If you're in 1 space of a gate, you're considered always safe to rest. That's what we're going to do. 1, 2, 3 as his first action. Then we are going to attack that lab, because it's getting silly now that we've still not destroyed it. She's much better at range. We should have done this at a distance. And she's done it, and she can have some insanity as well, which is not good, but we've destroyed it. Oh, that was getting silly beyond silly. It says... Oh. It says, major explosion. Deal 2 wounds to all enemies in this and adjacent spaces. So that's 3, which means that he's dead. But no one else is, because no one else is within range. And now, I'm not sure what to do with the kid. 1, 2, and we could start attacking that one at a distance, I guess. Let's do that. So we'll go 1, 2, so we've gained 4 fire tokens. Oh, that's the sister Beth, apologies. And we will now need to be a little bit more careful, because we are going to take some fire damage at this rate. And we could even take 1 hit for that as well. But on the plus side, we've got gate marksman at level 2. So now we gain 2 green die, plus these. So that's 5. Hopefully, the BR key moves to us, and then we can hit him with all 4 of these fire if they hit us. So we're shooting the lab. We're shooting the lab. Come on. Okay. That's 4 successes, a tentacle, a tentacle. So we take that first, which means that we will take a wound for having no damage on us. We can then destroy that lab. We have to set the other tentacle as well. It says, Inferno, place a fire token in this space and all adjacent spaces. But the ritual has been disrupted. And we've actually run out of fire tokens. I'm not sure what happens if that happens. Is it game? Nope. The building is allowed to go up in a blaze of glory, but it doesn't actually do anything. We just ignore the effects. So we can either choose to start putting fires out, but we still have to take the fire tokens to our boards, and we'll just have to use wound tokens to track it instead. They thought of everything, but they're not bothered about the building being on fire. I mean, they're conducting pretty nasty stuff. So I leveled up, and I chose to 1, 2, 3, 4. I've only leveled up 3. Let's go for that, because I'll get a free rest action and an extra green die. We reveal a Mythos card. Automatic. It's an automatic. If there are 2 Riley spaces adjacent to each other, at the end of each turn. At the end of the turn, advance Cthulhu on the track as if there were 3. There aren't 2 adjacent to each other. We've been very lucky, so we avoid that one. On the downside, it does mean that we are now in a position where we are just waiting for Cthulhu to rock up, aren't we? Oh, no. We actually, when we disrupted that ritual, would have immediately summoned him and replaced it with that. So he would then go to phase 2. So we are now no longer on phase 1, we're now on stage 2. And stage 2 also has the regular effects, and it says, when revealed, summon Cthulhu into your space. Each enemy in a Riley space moves 1 space towards you. At the end of each turn, put a Riley token in Cthulhu's space. If there was already a space, put it in an adjacent. Bad and good, because he'll appear there. We now don't need to worry about that fire. So he's there. Everybody on a Riley space moves 1 space towards us. There's no one. We'll place 1 on him every single turn. He's got 12 health on this one. He's now going to attack us, and he hits us for 2 green and 2 black. But we can now die. Not sure how I feel about that. 3 successes, that's 3 hits, that's 3 wounds. I don't like that, personally. So I'm going to spend 2 stress to re-roll these ones. 2 successes. That's better. A little bit. And then we'll roll for the fire. And that's 1 insanity. 1 success. 2 success. 2 insanity. So we go insane. We get 2 successes. That's 2 wounds on Cthulhu. We get an extra die. And we can increase our Arcane Mastery up by 1. Not bad, not good, not bad, not good. And then we move on to our Brawler herself. As it stands, she's able to distribute wounds and she's able to do quite a lot of damage. So we're going to make her run. Oh, there's an end of turn effect for Cthulhu now. Replace that there. 1, 2, 3. This big boy will follow us. I'll put him there. And he has the wound attached to him. But we did run through 1, 2 fire tokens, so just a little bit on fire. we're then going to choose to brawl, and she is on level 1. She gets 2, she gets 3. So she, even though she's not as insane as the kid, is going to be doing a lot of damage herself. And because that fire vampire has already got 2, we can count all those as successes as well. We can distribute them as we want to. So we can do 3 damage. Let's say those are the 3 damage we're going to choose. 1, 2. Oh, she's going to kill the kid. She's killed the kid. She kills the kid. Kid's dead. But she'll then deal 1, 2, 3 to that one for the kill, for the insanity. We've then got 2, 3, 4, 5 damage to Cthulhu 2. So Sister Beth has lost the plot, killed a child, and then punched an old god in the face so hard that he suffers 5 damage. Sister Beth does not give a solitary care about the well-being or safety of anyone around her. All items are dropped, so she could pick up this amulet of Angul, which I think she will do. Sooner or later she'll realise what she's done, but at the minute let's not tell her, because she is brawling. We can then, let's fight him again, let's punch him again. So that's 1, 2, 3 successes. So that's 2 insane, 3 successes there, so we can do another 3 damage to him. So he's taken 3, 6, 9, 10 damage. If we can get 2 successes on these, we can actually kill him. But for the time being, it's now his turn. And on his turn, he's going to punch us for 2 greens and 2 blacks. I believe this episode's going to be a fail, by the way. That's only 2 successes, that's only 2 damage. Simply because we're only on stage 2, there's a stage 3 and a stage 4. Stage 3, I believe, is quite meaty. Stage 4 is more problematic than anything. More problematic. Oh, we didn't reveal a Mythos card. For each fire vampire moves 1 space towards you, then place 1 fire token in your space. So it'd actually be taking an extra damage. An extra lot of attack. Is that our third one? 1, 2, only 2. Only 2. So the fire vampire would then attack us for 2 blacks and a green. 2 successes and a tentacle. 2 successes. But we would then lose the plot and punch everybody for 2, which would kill Cthulhu and do another 2 damage to that fire vampire. And Cthulhu goes to stage 3. So at the end of each turn, we're adding a come on, spit it out. We're adding a Riley token still. And now, when we reveal, move Cthulhu to the blue gate. I believe that is here. He's hiding with his mate. Bit of a squash in that room. At the end of the turn, each investigator loses 1 sanity. Each investigator in a Riley space takes 1 wound and 1 sanity. I always got sanity and stress mixed up when I first played this, but sanity is definitely that one. And wound means that we are dead. It is game over. We have lost episode 1, but that is the way this game goes. I'd argue that having more investigators wouldn't help. 2 investigators is a good amount. Any more and we just have had more enemies because more Mythos cards would have happened, and by the time you've got into anywhere, there's so many gone that we've got we've got Cthulhu so far across the track, there's so many Riley tokens out that it all just goes to pot. We did do quite well in terms of timing against the track because we managed to disrupt the ritual. We didn't get that many 3 of these out. I have played games where we haven't disrupted any ritual and that has gone entirely across. Maybe next time we will take out the Elder God. However, this has been a total failure with Sister Beth killing the kid and then Sister Beth dying regardless as Cthulhu disappears into the darkness. The world is lost, game is over. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.